Hi everyone, it's your boy Ricky here with Bromero cards for Trinity stamps, and today I will be making a holiday card using some products from their latest release. I am excited to make this card today because we're going to be doing some foiling, some stenciling, some Copic coloring, we're going to tear some paper, we're going to do all kinds of things. So before we get down to the desk and take a look at the items we're going to be using today, I just want to ask you to do a few things. First, subscribe to Trinity Stamps channel because that's how you know new videos are out. Also, you can find out by clicking that bell, and when a new video does come out, you'll get an update saying, hey, a new video is out. Also, leave some comments down below. Let's have a chit chat down there and let's have some fun. And then lastly, share the love. If you know someone that may like this card or may want to know how to make this type of card, send it over to them. They also might subscribe. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's look down at the desk to see what we're going to be using today. All right, so today we're going to be using the Winter Wishes stamp set. It's called Coco the Gnome. We're also going to be using the Snowflakes stencil die. We're going to be using the foiling trees here and the cutout trees. Now, it doesn't look like this for you guys in the packaging that you'll receive. This is just how I received it as a design team member. We're going to be using some cardstock. This is from cardstockwarehouse.com. This one, I'm not for sure we're going to be using that yet. This one is Concord and 9th Aqua Sky, and we're going to be using some white paper. We're going to be using some foiling today. Spellbinders, I think this is Spellbinders glitter foil. It'll be linked down below. And then also we're going to be using some Glitz gel as well. So let me go ahead and get the desk set up, and then we'll go ahead and get started making the card. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we need to go ahead and do some stenciling because we're going to be using some glitter gel here, and we need this to dry while we're doing the rest of the process. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done. We're just going to lay our paper down on the mat and then put our stencil over it. And we're going to make sure it gets contact with the sticky mat here so it doesn't move as we're doing the glitter gel. And then we're just going to take this gel and we're going to spread it across the stencil here. We're just going to mix this up really well. Ooh, it's pretty. I love it already. I don't even know what it's going to look like, but I love it already. Let's take some of that off. We're just going to spread it all the way around until all the snowflakes are covered. And you just want to do a thin layer here. You don't want to have a super thick layer when you go to pull this off because then it could smudge. But you do want to make sure that all the snowflakes are covered that you want to have covered. Now I'll probably cut this down a little bit, so probably doesn't need to go to edge to edge, but let's do it just in case I decide not to cut down, because you never know what's going to happen later on in the process. All right, so I think everything looks good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stencil off, and when you take the stencil off, you have to go wash all of this stuff right away, or if it gets hard on the stencil, it's hard to get off and it can ruin your stencil. So let's get this covered up. Let's remove the stencil. Wow, that, you guys, is so pretty. Cannot wait until that dries, all that sparkle in there. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna go clean all this up and I'll be right back for the next step. Okay, everyone, the next step is we are gonna try to foil these Christmas trees. And when I say try, sometimes it's successful the first time, sometimes it isn't. So we're gonna try it for the first time and see what happens. I did let this go ahead and heat up because it does take a few minutes. So I'm just going to show you the process of how you do this. It is ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay our foil down pretty side down. Then we're going to lay our paper on top. And then we're going to lay these guys down. And then we're going to hit timer. And we're going to let this run through real quick, and then we'll run it through our die cutting machine to get the foiling to adhere to the paper. So I'm just going to get my die cutting machine ready. off to the side. You guys won't be able to see this, but, or maybe I could do it this way. I can scoot this over this way. Maybe scoot this over this way. There we go. So we're going to run this through. Once this stops blinking, we will run it through the machine. We'll kind of go slowly and then bring it back out. And then hopefully it works the first time. If it doesn't, then you'll see how the process works. And then I will have to try to do this again to make sure that it actually works. It also depends on like the paper, the kind of file, the kind of foiling that you're using. All kinds of various things happen here. So I've learned that not every time the foiling machine works, it's fine. You move on, you go to the next step, or you try again. So it is ready to go. It stopped blinking, so it's ready. So we're going to pull it out. And then we're going to run it through the die cutting machine. And then I like to just run it back through just a little bit slower. And then we'll pull this back, put it back on the platform, and then we're going to see how this worked out. So far, so good it looks. Let's let it cool off just for a moment. This can get really hot, you guys, so always be careful when using this. All right, let's see what this looks like. Okay, this isn't bad. There's a little bit of overfoiling in some places, but it's not horrible. So I think while I can use this, I'm going to go offline and I'm going to redo it and maybe just run it through the machine once and see if that helps. So I'll be right back showing the results. Okay, everyone, so I redid it and it did work the second time. And I just ran it through once instead of running it through and then running it through backwards. So I think that may have caused some overfoiling. And there's still a little bit of overfoiling here, but it's not bad. These can be used. They're great. And the other ones can also be used as well. I don't know. I just had it on my desk. I'm not for sure where oh, here we go. So, I mean, they could still be used. It's not a problem. I did have to switch colors. This is Cardstock Warehouse Lime, and then I just moved to Cardstock Warehouse Evergreen. So it's just a different green, but it is great. It's wonderful. Now what we're going to do is use the matching die to get these cut out. I'm probably only going to be using one of these, but we'll go ahead and get this cut out off camera, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay, so we have the Christmas trees cut out, which is nice. And I'm trying to decide which Christmas tree I want to use. I think this won't be able to be decided until we actually start putting the card together. So I'm going to place these to the side, and then we're going to get started on the next step of making the card. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get this little guy stamped out. I do have him placed in my MISTI already. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get him stamped out. We're going to rub him down in the sentiment because this hasn't been used before, and we want to kind of condition the stamp to hold the ink. And then we're just going to stamp this out or ink it up and then stamp it. And that looks pretty good on its own, but I think I just want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to go in and get this inked up one more time and stamp it out again. All right, that looks perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get this taken out of the MISTI and get set up for some Copic coloring, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have this little guy stamped out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to Copic color his hat, and then I'm just going to Copic color the rest of this off camera because it's just a lot to watch without me talking. I guess I could record it and then just play some music. Maybe I'll do that. I'll color the hat red, we'll talk through it a little bit, and then for the rest of the image, I'll just color it and we'll walk through it with, or You'll just watch it with some music, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So, all right. So I'm going to try to do this without getting my head in the way. Basically, just going to start in the corners here. And you guys, I'm not an expert colorist, so, you know, if there's a better way for you to do this, by all means, do that. I just try to do my best here. Again, I'm not like a professional at this, so, you know, take me at the best that I can do. I need one of those little holders that I've seen people have that hold the Copic marker cap, so people can see the color. It has like a little square, and then you put the cap there, because that would remind me to actually put the cap down when I need to, because sometimes I'll either hold it in my hand or keep it out of frame, and then people are like, what color did you use? I'm like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. All right, so that actually was pretty easy. I might go in and just do a little bit more of the darker red, maybe bring it out just a little bit more. And then maybe just bring it a little bit more around here. And then we'll just redo. See, there I am just holding the cap. I'm really bad about that, you guys. We'll come in and just bring this back around. And then we'll go in with the lightest color and just finish that off. And I think this looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to color the rest of this, and we're going to listen to some music, and then I'll be back to talk about what we're going to do next. So please hold. Okay, so we're back and we have completed the Copic coloring. That was actually pretty simple. I just used some reds for his mittens and his hat. I used a gray for the penguin, an orange for his feet and the little beak. Used the same red for the candy cane, and then I just used some different grays for his beard and his shoes. So what we're going to do is we will go ahead and get him die cut out. And in order to do that, we're going to have to break this apart with some little wire snips, maybe. Sometimes these can be a little hard to get out. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this down, we'll tape this down, we'll get the sentiment out, and we'll go ahead and get these cut out offline, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have this little guy cut out, we have him done. The next thing I want to do is I want to create a snowbank. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip some paper, like this. And I'm just going to set it on here because I want to see, that's a little too tall, so let's maybe, there we go. All right, so there's one. And then what we could do is take the reverse of this. We're going to tear it a little bit more, but kind of make like a snowbank that way. Or maybe we could just do it this way. Let's see here. So I have one here, one here. Let's tear this guy a little bit more. All right, so we kind of have like some snow here. I kind of like this idea. So there we have the ripped snow. We'll put this on some layering, and I think maybe we'll do this tree here. We'll put the little gnome here, and the winter wishes maybe here. Or maybe we'll put them there. I think I like it here. So, all right. So I think we have the general idea of what we're going to do here. I kind of want to, we're going to glue this down first. Let me see here. So let's make this come up a little bit more. So I think that works. All right, so let's take some glue. We got some Trinity Stamps glue here. And we'll go ahead and get this glued down. Oh, you guys, my bottle's clogged, I think. Let's get a pen. Sometimes that happens. All right. All right, so we have some glue on that side. Let's put some on this side to get that glued down. And then what we'll do is we'll just take some scissors and we're going to cut the additional off the ends. There we go. And now what I want to do is I want to take this piece and I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape to give it a little bit of dimension. So let's do that. What side did I want to use here? This side or this side? Let's use this side. Alrighty. So I'm going to put my head over so you guys aren't going to be able to see this because I need to get it lined up to be even. There we go. And then we're just going to cut this edge off here. There we go. All right, what I did not do, all right, that's fine. So should we put that here? I think we should put this under the snow. I'm just going to place this up again just to make sure. I think we'll put him here, but pop him up with some foam tape as well. All right, I think we have a plan here. There we go. And then we'll pop this little guy up with some foam tape as well. we go. And then we'll put thin, whoops, this guy needs to be held down a little bit more and put some more glue down. It is going against the snowflakes, so let's just put something a little heavy down on top of that. And while we're waiting on that, we'll put some foam tape on the back of the sentiments here. There we go. And then let's get some tweezers here, and we're just going to lay this down for a second. We don't want to press it down yet because we want to make sure that it's nice and straight. The dilemma, across or offset? I think I kind of like offset, you guys. What do you guys think? Of course, it is covering up 2 snowflakes. Maybe put this here and this here. I think I like that. All right, so let me get my head in here to get this straight. Looks good. Alrighty. And we'll go ahead and get this glued down to a card base. Oh, and I did cut this blue piece down to 4 by 5 1/4, so that's why there is a white mat around this. Press it down. And you guys, the card is complete. Check that out. It's got a little bit of sparkle from the foiling. There is some glitter in the snowflakes. I'm not for sure if it can pick it up on camera, but super cute. I love how the snow is showing up. It's kind of torn, super easy to make, so you don't have to have a die for the snow or anything like that. And then let me give you a close-up of it here so that you can take a look. It's a little bright, I think, for you guys. There we go. Maybe if there we go. So there we go. That's the completed card. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure that you subscribe to Trinity Stamps channel so that you know new videos are out. Products used will be linked down in the description, and you can check out Trinity Stamps over on Instagram, Facebook, over at YouTube, and you can also find me by searching for Bromero Cards over on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So until next time, I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and happy holidays to you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!